monthly update for you guys. As always, every month we have an update, and you find out what's going on. I heard the update this morning. Honestly, I wasn't paying attention too much, but I heard it this morning. It was really good. We heard from Forge, which was really amazing. And maybe Drake could jump in and just repeat what he said this morning.
What's going on, everyone? To elaborate on what Lutz was talking about or referring to about this morning, essentially, Tim had the idea of basically creating two weekly meeting updates, mainly because the people in the Eastern time zones, like for example, or Eastern compared to where I'm at actually, but like specifically Europe and Asia and things like that, have a hard time making the meetings and such because it's so late over there by the time that we start. So decided to do two for the monthly updates, one at 6 p.m. UTC and then one at 11:30 like normal. So the one in the morning actually went extremely well, had some great questions, had some amazing turnout. There was over 20 people there, things like that. So
it was about 50 people in total across all 50-something people.
Oh, from all the live platforms?
Actually, let me give you the final number. It was around 60.
Nice. Yeah, so I believe we can consider that a massive success, and so we'll definitely be continuing to do that going forward. So every month during the monthly news update, we'll be having two meetings, one for one earlier than the other, obviously. So one at 6 p.m. UTC, and then the normal one at 11:30 p.m. UTC. All right, so let's get to it. So Anarchapulco, fantastic turnout in support as far as funding. So the funding, as everyone knows, is complete for that, and we are officially sponsors of that event. And we are one of a few sponsors, actually, because there's not too many, actually. So Float is the other one that's actually really big, and they will be there. Lutz will be on the ground, not only talking to everybody, giving introductions about Pirate Chain, things like that, but, making sure that we're well represented down there. And if there's anybody that I would send anywhere to talk to people, aside from myself, Lutz is way better at that than I am, honestly. So he's the man when it comes to opening doors and ice breaking and just getting people engaged. So I have a lot of high hopes for him down there to represent Pirate really well and onboard a lot more crew members as well as community, like grow the community. So we have tons of documents and several videos that will be thrown around everywhere. So during the event, you'll see some the pirate pitch deck video that Tim created, as well as some instructional videos, things like that. And I believe, Lutz, are you giving out USB drives?
Dude, so yeah, I've contributed about $2,000 of my own money now to this. We have 60 t-shirts. We have USB sticks with Pirate on it. Hopefully with the new Dreadnought OS, if it's done by tomorrow or the day after. We have mugs, coffee mugs with Pirate on it. There's a whole bunch of knickknacks, But we're gonna, those are the things I think people go home, they see it again, it reminds them, they check it out. So people say it's a waste of money, but you know what? The best conferences are the stuff I got stuff from, right? So I got like Token Summit T-shirt from 2017, right? Like those are the ones you remember the most. Is the one
absolutely
something home. When you bring something home from that place, you remember it better.
Yeah, I mean, I guarantee we got quite a few people from the Pirates Week Festival to join Pirate and stuff. So, but yeah. So, aside from that, as everyone knows, the fundraising has been completed for Changely. Massive, massive thank you to the community for that, because literally we wouldn't be where we're at without you guys. And fundraising 25 grand from the community with JL matching the other 25 was mind blowing. I mean, I'm still in shock that actually happened. So thank you so much to everyone who contributed and for all that stuff that helps propel us forward. So, Tim, do you want to give an update on the status of Changely?
Yeah, with Changely, they have prepared the contract, which is in review, and we're about to sign it. And we're also arranging the final payment detail. Once that is completed, we should have 2 to 3 weeks waiting time until the integration from the Changely team is complete and we are live.
Good stuff. So yeah, that will be a huge, huge help and boost to Pirate Chain as a project. For the simple fact that I believe they have onboarding services and it's a big name, especially for a swap service. It's fantastic to be on something like Changely, and it'll actually help us push ourselves into other big name projects as well. So that's a huge success. All right, next on the list is the new wallet. So some of you may have seen this. Actually, I hope all of you saw this. So the treasure chest got an update and includes new visuals, small bug fixes, and some just textual updates and stuff. And it looks absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Has several different options for wallpaper. Forge has stated that he's going to make some high quality or high def wallpaper to put on there. So this way, because that's some of the comments that we've gotten is about creating some high quality wallpapers, or not, I guess you would call them wallpapers or backgrounds for treasure chest. So highly, highly recommend checking that out and updating to that, because I updated to it and I absolutely freaking love it. So it's just a cool ass looking wallet now.
The chain loads faster than the light wallet.
Yeah, I mean, combining with the bootstrap that it auto downloads on a new install, yeah, it loads really fast.
Almost no need for a light wallet.
Oh, trust me, there's definitely a need for a light wallet. Phones cannot run full nodes.
Not yet. I'm not done yet. It's called Librem. His operating system use on the phone. We just need to find the phones.
All right, so Wookie deserves a massive shout out for his writing abilities and for also getting published on Hacker Noon. So on Hacker Noon, he wrote an article titled Wall Street's Bitcoin versus Reddit's Bitcoin. I highly, highly recommend reading it. It's a fantastic read. And on top of that, he mentions Pirate towards the end about privacy and the need for it and things like that. So I'm not going to spoil anything in it because you guys should definitely check it out. It's posted up in the announcements channel if you scroll up a little bit, or somebody could just go ahead and post it in the voice chat channel. This way people can go ahead and read that. He also wrote the monthly newsletter, which, as always, is absolutely fantastic. And one thing I want to point out is in every single one for his last words is some of the best stuff I've ever read. I'm dead serious when I say that. It is absolutely amazing hearing his opinions on things and all that other stuff. So it's another fantastic read. So we're extremely lucky to have such a talented writer with Pirate Chain. So hats off to him on that. Now, to go along with media in general, there's some new videos that have been posted. Cax has graciously given us some videos on how to run the pirate wallet from a different location, things like that. And Tim has been diving into some video as well with promotional videos, such as the pitch deck and Pirate's Mission and things like that, all of which are located on our YouTube channel. So absolutely check that out. And one thing about that YouTube channel that deserves a mention is the fact that we have over 1,000 followers on YouTube now, which may not seem like a lot, but when you actually compare it to, say, 6 months ago, before the idea to go streaming the weekly meeting or the monthly meetings on YouTube and stuff, we had maybe a dozen or two followers, maybe a little bit more than that. But now, the growth from that has been exponential. So that is actually really important too, because the moment we start getting a lot more followers, we climb the ranks in videos and things like that, more people are able to see us a lot easier. And it snowballs into something that could be potentially massive, So that's one area that we've been focusing on, and that's a massive success, reaching 1,000 followers. So I look forward to seeing in the next few months what that number is, because now that we're streaming the monthly meetings and such and recording them, especially twice in one day for different time zones and stuff, I'm betting that that's going to grow a lot faster now. And speaking about numbers, we've had the highest traffic this month on the website, or the highest traffic we've ever had last month on our website. Thanks to the brilliant work of Tim working on the website, along with, Cax, Wookie, Lutz, myself, and quite a few others pitching in to, make basically create content for the website that makes sense, and pointing out various things to Tim to modify or switch or things like that, and Tim just grinding his nose, basically just going right at it for weeks upon weeks to get that thing looking the way it does now, which it looks gorgeous. It just shows how much that pays off.
Back in the day, I used to use a site's traffic to be like a variable of how I would invest in a coin. So you go to like Alexa, find out how many hits that site's getting, and you could tell like how popular that site is, more or less, right? Because if it's popular, a lot of people are going to go to it. So it's actually a good, if you're a trader, that was one of the ways that I used to trade. I mean, I don't gamble. It's called gambling, really. If you're a big gambler, it's probably a variable you want to look at.
Oh, absolutely. So, hats off to Tim and all those who are involved in getting the website to where it is now. And it shows that all that hard work absolutely paid off. So, and I can't wait to see what those numbers look like this month and the next month, especially with going on Changely probably this month, and as well as, going to Anarchapulco and Lutz providing us with some media from down there, and bringing on new users and stuff. So it's going to be really, really exciting this month and next. So now, as far as upcoming developments, obviously we have Changely integrating into there, and attending Anarchapulco. But one of the big things that we're currently working on is integrating into Varus's DeFi system. So it's going to be Pirate wrapped in Varus. Now the cool thing about that is the fact that it'll be a decentralized gateway system, so not one point holds all the funds and stuff like that, and it'll be absolutely secure. So from that point, we can integrate into all the DeFi products that they're offering, as well as potentially creating a war token like we've been discussing. However, speaking about war, for those that know, I've been dabbling a lot in DeFi for the past 4 months, 5 months, and especially on Ethereum. And obviously, the past month gave me the realization that it might not be the best platform for us to go on to as of right now, for the simple fact that users who want to pick up Pirate Chain or do whatever are going to have to deal with transaction fees of interacting with the contract of $30, $50, sometimes $70 for a single transaction, which is absolutely insane. So I've kind of pivoted on my opinion on, going into Ethereum to actually instead going into Binance Smart Chain and listing on something like PancakeSwap, because the fees over there, dirt cheap. The user base is growing exponentially over there as compared to Ethereum or Ethereum's Uniswap. And then there were actually several times where PancakeSwap beat out Uniswap in volume per day. At one point, it hit like $2.1 billion in one day. I mean, shit is insane. I mean, granted, obviously went way down from that. However, when you look at the day-to-day volume between those two exchanges, you'll see that it's only like maybe a couple hundred million off. So Uniswap will be, say, $1 billion a day, and PancakeSwap will be 800 million a day, which is still ridiculous. And the biggest thing to point out with that is the fact that PancakeSwap has a tenth or maybe a little bit less of the amount of tokens available as compared to Uniswap. So that's, to me, in essence, one of the biggest factors you should look at when considering that, what exchange to go on to. So in my mind, I think the best route for us is to create a token on Binance Smart Chain and get into PancakeSwap, which I'm working on something right now with Polarity that's separate from Pirate, but because of that, we'll have a gateway system set up for Binance Smart Chain. So that will allow Pirate to actually have a tokenized version to go on to Binance Smart Chain. So let's see. Aside from that, what else was there, Tim?
I'm not seeing the price rising. There must be something wrong. Repeat what you just said, bro.
So essentially, I'm working on something with Polarity that will allow Pirate to create a tokenized version of itself on Binance Smart Chain. And the fees there are 50 cents or less per trade interaction with the smart contract on PancakeSwap. So
I'm down, man. Let's rock and roll, dude. So I've been hearing about this fucking Binance chain for days now. I'm still trying to understand why it's better than Uniswap.
well, okay. So let me give you a quick rundown, right? So Binance Smart Chain is a virtualized machine, essentially, of a VM of Ethereum, right? So in essence, you can
It's literally Uniswap's code. Like, they didn't even bother to remove the links to swap
yeah.
in their thing. Like, that's how lazy they were. It's literally
they just got better. They just got better marketing.
Well, no, not even that.
cheaper.
It's the fact that the chain that they're on with PancakeSwap is using Binance Smart Chain. So essentially, the fees on Binance Smart Chain are so much lower than Ethereum. Because Ethereum, if you try to trade or send shit on there, even just from wallet to wallet, it's like $10-12 just to send one transaction. On Binance chain, it's like pennies.
That's similar. I mean, the way Incognito works is Incognito has an exchange as well, and they use their own coin as well. So I mean, it's really not too different than a lot of these dexes, right? Like even BT Dex has their own coin, right? So I mean,
Turtle Network is the same method, right? But the key thing you have to look at is how many users are there, So, and the other key thing you have to look at is, okay, so if we go there and we try to attract users, how much is it going to cost for a user to transact our token on there, So if you look at something like Ethereum, yeah, they still have a shit ton of whales over there that spend an ungodly amount of money, right? But the average Joe seems like it's moving over to Binance Smart Chain to use PancakeSwap. And that's the target that we want, We want to grow our user base as much as possible, and we don't want to rely just on maybe a few whales, So if we have a massive crowd that we can attract and use our token for its intended purpose, which is linkage breaking and things like that, then that would be a massive success. So, and especially considering the fact that, like I said, there's a tenth or maybe even less than a tenth of the amount of coins on PancakeSwap as compared to Uniswap, which means that we'll gather more attention, because the moment we launch on there, if there's a ton of volume, instantly we're going to be seen because there's not nearly as many tokens on that exchange.
Now, what's your guesstimate as to how long we could, till we could get on there? Because it might just be a hype thing, just like a lot of things we've seen.
Nah.
Like EOS, and then everybody jumped on EOS, and then it died.
Well, no. Here's okay. Let me give you a well thought out response, because I thought about that at one point. I thought that, well, this is probably just hype, but then I realized, wait a second, it's not just hype, because literally it's faster than Ethereum, it's cheaper than Ethereum, and Binance already has a shit ton of people, right? So many people. Yeah, so basically it's a KYC-less exchange, just like Uniswap, right? So who wouldn't want to move over to that on that type of platform when CZ himself is touting it? So with that kind of clout behind it, there's no reason not to go there. Now, as far as timing goes, it all depends on when my stuff is finished. That will probably be in the next few weeks. And then from that point, once that is set up, then I would imagine that we would be able to, tokenize Pirate Chain on PancakeSwap using Polarity.
I think we're going to have a great summer, guys. Hodl to the summer. Hodl.
Dude, we're going to have a fantastic summer, I can tell you that.
By summertime, so much of this shit's going to be done. We should be in different places by then.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully Belize or Rome or somewhere in that.
Or just out in the seas on a pirate ship. But yeah, I mean, we got...
I need a pirate ship, though, with lots of engines. I want that shit to go fast.
Yeah.
Like a Lambo on the water.
Hell yeah, man. But yeah, so Ford, like I said, is working on the Varus, the pirate wrapped in Varus. So he's hard at work working on that stuff, because we're trying to get that done before the node updates for the Komodo notary node stuff.
From what I understand, if we have to wait another year and then implement it, I mean, that's going to suck, because by then it might be too late. And then also, keep in mind that, look, I'm not a fan of Varus. I'm going to say it straight out. Everybody knows that. I'm not a big fan. Lately, I've been trying to understand it better and trying to understand why people like it. But, I'm just not, some coins I'm just not a fan. But it doesn't mean that what they make will not be an amazing, or a success, or, something good that people who who like KYC will probably love, right? So I mean, they're different people, different strokes for different folks, right? So I want to be part. I want Pirate to be part of everything, right? You've seen me talk to EtherSwap, seen me talk to BT Dex, right? We got Atomic Dex here in the chat, Polly. So I'm reaching out to all the dexes. I want us to be part of every dex. I want eventually for us not to depend on any centralized, except for maybe those big ones, like, Polos.
Yeah, Polo, Binance, things like that, because that's where the institutional investors come in. So
I would delist us right away. Once I see all those catching fire and everyone using them, delist from all the shitty exchanges.
Oh yeah. So, another thing that was talked about in the morning meeting that Tim asked me was the difference between Pirate and Zcash and Monero. Because a lot of folks are saying, or like, would typically come at us and ask us, why do you guys say that you're better than Monero? Monero is the OG of privacy coins. Oh yeah, sure, yeah, they're the OG of privacy coins. But the simple fact is that our privacy tech is way, way, way above theirs. In Zcash, they have transparent addresses, which 95 to 98% of all transactions done on Zcash is all transparent addresses. So they literally don't have any privacy, even though they have a privacy aspect to them. So that's why Pirate Chain is king of the privacy coins. Now you'll hear detractors say things like, "Oh well, you're trusted. You have a trusted setup. You're not trustless. You're not trustless." All right, big shot. So define that for me. Why is that such a deal breaker at this point in time? Has anybody ever broken the encryption on Zcash? When the Powers of Tau came out? No, nope, not at all. Because the thing is that there's over 80-something participants within the Powers of Tau, and literally it only requires one person to be honest. So if one person destroyed their keys, good luck. Can't break it. So for that, it's just so overinflated that, it's a non-issue. And that's the only thing that they have, literally. Because if you notice, someone like Fluffy Pony loves comparing Monero to Zcash. Loves it. Never wants to compare himself to Pirate Chain, ever. Now, some may think, oh, that's because, we're too small. No, he knows who we are. He absolutely knows who we are. In fact, in the Crypto Vigilante Summit that they had, he actually mentioned Pirate Chain and said, oh, when are they going to cut the umbilical cord from Zcash? Which it's funny to me because that umbilical cord, that quote-unquote umbilical cord, provides a safety net for us. What he essentially means is, well, why don't you get your own developers and create some new stuff aside from what Zcash is developing? Yeah, sure, we could. But what are the benefits of actually taking what Zcash produces that is provably better than everything else? For one, they do all the bug testing. Say they bug test with all their teams and, all the other major auditing places out there as well as the users, right? And then all of a sudden, they launch it mainnet 6 months down the road. Oh shit, there's an inflation bug. We didn't know about this. Nobody saw this. That's detrimental. Now, say for example, a project like us does that. We're a smaller project. That's undeniable. So if something like that happens to us and that gets taken advantage of, we're fucked. Yeah, absolutely. So by using Zcash as a buffer for technology, basically waiting until it's solid and proven before we even try to implement anything like that, it's like having a free research team and free testing team without us having any liability for it. It's fantastic. So back to my main point, Fluffy knows who we are, and he never, ever wants to compare Monero to Pirate Chain as far as privacy is concerned, because he knows he'll lose. He knows he'll lose that argument.
I've spoken on 2 panels already with him.
Yeah.
Not once has he
So,
introduced himself yet.
yeah, so
But we'll get there, because from what I heard, he might be where I'm going. So this is going to be a fun trip.
don't get me wrong. I love Monero. Monero's fantastic. Monero's made a lot of waves. They've pushed a lot of great tech, and they've paved the way for privacy coins. There's no doubt about that. I'll always have love for Monero for that aspect, and for what they do now, and for what they stand for. But when it comes to comparing tech, we have the upper hand, absolutely. So, in that sense, that's why we say we are the best privacy coin out there.
We literally grab our balls and we put it on the table, and we say, look, we are the most private cryptocurrency in the world. Go ahead, prove me wrong. Here's my ball.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then essentially the easy way to compare the two is saying, okay, so I'm using Monero, so therefore I'll put Lutz's balls under one cup and then add 10 fake cups next to it. And as Forge added, they're clear cups, essentially. So literally you mix them up, and then the person that you give it to knows which cup it's under. And then chain analysis comes along and says, I'm pretty sure it's under that cup. Now, when you compare that to Pirate Chain, it's like having $1 in my pocket and then looking at somebody else and saying, all right, thinking to myself, all right, I'm going to give that $1 to that person over there. Dollar disappears out of my pocket, reappears in theirs. Nobody sees a damn thing, and nobody knows anything even happened.
Right. So, and in a non-set, it happened the non-set, right? So the difference between the non-sets.
Yeah. So Monero's non-set is 11, and ours is over 300-something thousand.
I heard they're increasing to like 27 or
Ooh.
24. I know it's fancy.
They're catching up, bro.
Right, but so from what I understand, from what I've been researching, because there's really not much information out there on the actual definition of an anon-set, but it is a thing, right? So, it's a pool, right? It's a pool of transactions. So they're using a bigger your transaction is going to get lost in a pool of 27 transactions eventually on Monero, right? Right. That's even better than 11, right? So it could get it's a lot. It costs a lot more resources, double, to try to figure out now. And remember, when insecurity, making things expensive is part of security, right? Because at some point an attacker will stop using his own resources to attack you. It's getting too expensive, right? So, but keeping that in mind, Pirate has over 400,000 transactions in their pool. So when you throw your transaction in, it's not 27. It's literally 400,000.
Is it 400 yet? Last time I checked, it was like 340, I think.
Nah, it was over 400. It was over 400. Let me take a look. Where they got it? So 400.
Yeah, Lutz, when you find it, post the website that it's on. I think it's DexStats or something like that.
I got it. Yeah.
Monster.dexstats.com, and it's Teebs. Teebs, could you mute your microphone?
Teebs, our metal master.
I also want to add, adding to what, backing up what Draith said, right? To me, at least, commoners like me that don't understand cryptography and can't code, you hear like, well, we're using the zk-SNARKs and Monero's using ring CT, right? And when it comes down to it cracking things, I can't read cryptography. I don't know what's easier or harder to crack. But it's been several Monero devs, whether on YouTube or on Twitter, even Fluffy himself has said that zk-SNARKs is the superior code privacy algorithm. And so, we are using the superior algorithm and using it in the right way with mandatory privacy. So that's all I wanted to say. That zk-SNARKs is stronger than ring CT, and that statement is backed by Monero devs too.
Exactly. And then, what was it? What else did you ask me during the first meeting, Tim?
Well, there was a discussion with, I can't remember, somebody in a group that said that Pirate Chain does not have any of its own developers. And as soon as we said that in the morning, the ghost of Forge, the supposed core dev of Pirate, appeared.
Well, it's
It's scary. It's scary.
he's everywhere. It's his omnipresence, bro.
But he doesn't exist, and he can still speak. So that's just weirded me out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Forge is our core dev. We also have Lutz's R&D department. We have tons and tons of people working. Just Forge is doing the heavy lifting with the wallets, and now with the VAR, Varus wrapped pirate, and things like that. And then you have Lutz's team working on the new OS, working on tons and tons and tons of different projects and things like that. So we have a ton of people in the background that a lot of people just don't see. They're there, but a lot of people just don't talk because they work, and that's why people like me are here. For example, yeah, I do help lead the ship, but I know what's going on, and literally I'm here to help communicate all of that to everybody else. Because when devs are silent, that doesn't mean they're not doing anything. As every dev can easily just say, yeah, I'm hard at work when I'm not talking. I mean, hell, just ask Forge. And I don't know how he does it, but he still has time to actually talk and converse and things like that. So
yeah. I'm literally working right now.
Yeah, see what I mean?
There, the ghost is back.
Yeah, so I think another thing that you asked me was how we got Forge, but no, that was actually one of the community members that asked that, and basically my response was Lutz stood in front of a mirror and just said his name 3 times, and Forge just appeared. So
we abducted
That's
him.
exactly
That's the bitter truth.
Exactly how it happened.
Oh man, but
Hey, don't forget the little people though. There's also like individuals building stuff, like Builder. He was asking you questions this morning. I was actually surprised. And so I guess it's look, I was wrong. I'm gonna say it again in this meeting. Dream Tim, you were right. So it's a good idea to have a morning and night meeting because there was a really great turnout this morning. Naturally, I intentionally did not promote anything just to see the turnout. So it was interesting. Great study. But there's the small guys in the develop that are developing stuff. Zundernet, creating a wallet called Zundernet, and he's got like this. I don't know. It's like it's like Visual Basic type Excel coding, I guess, where he's able to graph everything. He's really good with that stuff. So he like arranged the wallet like that. And it might be something interesting. So don't forget, there's a lot of little people out there working on stuff without even asking. They're just doing some cool shit.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying about your R&D team, man. Like literally, you have a ton of people in there, and yeah, they don't speak, but that doesn't mean they're not hard at work. And literally, there's a lot of things going on in the background that people just don't see unless like you're a first mate or captain or things like that. Because
what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create a breeding ground for developers that, like like old school when we used to go on IRC and we used to tell each other about the different hacks and what's going on in technology. I mean, that shit was fun. I mean, Discord may not be the solution. We may all have to move eventually to something safer. But I want a breeding ground. I want a place where my kid could jump in and he could listen to Uncle Drake and Uncle Forge, and he could ask questions and stuff, right? I mean, that'd be cool. That'd be cool to have a place
Absolutely.
where I know he's talking to safe people online.
Oh, I even got my daughter saying "R" now. So.
And then later on, as I'm building the middle ground right now in the Acorn area, I'm also gonna be building when I get back from Anarchapulco, Scallywag Think Tank, which will bring in children on the lower level, right, to do hackathons, colleges or high schools, and, and age 20 and down, right? So or 18 and down. 20 is not a kid anymore. So we're 18 and down, I would say, right? And we'll do some hackathons, and we'll give some bounties out, and we'll actually have the kids complete some real work, which would be even more interesting. And then getting to the top level is a different story. That would be the senior citizens like myself, Forge. But look, we got Forge in here. He's a master, so that would be top level for me, right? I got a weird way of looking at things. If you guys looked in my mind, you'd be like, "What the weird of?" Be like Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, now, real quick, since you mentioned Forge, there was a question in the morning about the mobile wallet being on Google Play, and Forge helped me finish that whole application thing and got it pushed through. So that should hopefully be approved and available on the Google Play Store sometime in the next maybe week or so.
Awesome.
Yeah, so
No, that's gonna bring in a shit ton of people. I am gonna promote the shit. There's different ways of promoting apps specifically. So now I have another way of promoting it. Be dope.
Yeah, so it didn't require a company because they don't require companies to back their product, backup app or whatever. However, Apple does. So to maintain consistency, what I ended up doing was using the BPSAA as the backing company of that app. So this way you'll see BPSAA as the company behind the Pirate Wallet, even though, Forger's behind it. But yeah, so this way we have consistency among both platforms, the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. You'll both see BPSAA there just because Apple requires a company. So
You'd be surprised. Even in companies, there's only one great developer that really makes everything, and the rest just the system. Like a system, like I need help with this. Can you do this? He assigns what he needs done, and they do the easy stuff for him, so he doesn't have to do that redundant work. So no difference is what I'm saying. You got legit buildings and corporations that typically only have 1 to 2 amazing devs, from what I've seen. And I've been in a Fortune 30 company, right?
yeah.
And that shit, and that was a makeshift project. You had to see these servers, man. They were ancient. So it was. I mean, they were still pulling tapes out of drives. I was like, what the fuck? And they're sending them to Iron Mountain and shit. I was like, are you joking? Really? It's called uploading and downloading. It was insane. I couldn't believe I walked in. I was like, what the fuck? The last straw when I left was the fact that they had no redundant SAN. So and I told him I was telling him for months. I was like, yo, if something happens, you're gonna get fucked. All the VMs are on there, all the servers with the VMs. You're gonna get fucked. You got redundancy on everything but your fucking SAN. Who was in charge here? Anyway, there was an asshole in charge. They should have fired him. But instead, what happened was IBM came. They came to fix a fan in the server, and they pulled the plug on the fucking SAN. And we had to for 3 days straight, reconstruct all the Exchange servers, the ESX server, everything. Everything went down, bro. It was nuts. It was nuts. And then that's when I had it. Then magically, it was like God saw what happened, and Bitcoin went up. And like a few weeks later, I had my resignation on the desk. I was like, don't bother calling me.
Let's not forget to say that Anarchapulco, which we are sponsors of, is starting in just 4 days. So if people, I've just posted the link on the weekly meeting chat, and if people want to attend, the Well, for the live event, it might be a little bit late now, but for the online event, they can register on that website.
You know, that's the second time you said that, and the second time that I forgot to say that. You notice that? I forgot to mention that in the morning meeting, and you said that, so you would think that I would remember to say that now, but nope.
The other thing that is happening is, does anybody know about Austin Blockchain Week? Somebody's mentioning that on YouTube.
Is it available for us to speak at? I contacted one as well last night. I forgot the name of it. I gotta check the mail.
All right,
We're going to events all year. All year this year is all about events.
No, I think this one is just Ethereum.
Well, does anybody have any questions, comments, anything? What's YouTube saying, Cax? Paper wallet still upgrading.
Somebody's complaining that Lutz's mic is very quiet.
I could hear him perfectly fine. Huh.
I'm really quiet.
No. That your microphone was a little bit quiet.
Dude, I just bought these headphones. They got 4 microphones in.
Nathan Hawk, Lutz, Nathan Hawk from YouTube says that you're speaking in Austin Blockchain Week, and that you talked about it in Jersey last week, and you're speaking, Matt Green is speaking, and Komodo is speaking.
Yeah, dude, I'm totally drunk. Yeah, I remember now.
Okay, do you want to talk a bit about that?
I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that was the Nathan. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's gonna be badass. It's let me get the website. It's ARRA.global. So if you go there, that's the event. And there'll be a whole bunch of people over there, a whole bunch of good speakers. And you know, I've hung out with a lot of crews, and you know, when I hang out with Nathan and those guys, I feel a lot more at home when I'm with them. You know, these guys are really into crypto. So if you're gonna learn from people, these are probably the people you want to learn.
Another question from YouTube. The iOS mobile wallet.
Well, Changely will have one.
Yeah, so that's one immediate solution as soon as we get on Changely, which, like we said, should be probably in this month at some point. And I know Forge is currently working on, VAR. So, Forge, you want to say anything about the iOS wallet?
Yeah, the iOS wallet is we just need the account.
Oh,
that's basically it. I mean, there's a little bit of work to be done, but for the most part, we just need an account so that we can publish it.
Okay, well, since that's the case, I'll do that this week.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it might take a little while to get it published once we get the coding done, but yeah, that's really all we need. And I'm actually I'm looking at the Light Wallet server right now. So it looks like there's a cache option we can. Right now, it looks like we have it set to keep blocks for about 20 days. So I think that some of our users don't log in, regularly. It could probably slow down the whole process, because if a block falls out of the cache, it's got to pull the node, or pull it from the node, pull it from the disk. So I'm looking at that right now.
Awesome. All right, so yeah, as far as the iOS wallet is concerned, that could be within probably the next couple months, depending on how long it takes to get onto the Apple Store. So that's the biggest waiting time for that, because like I said, I'll create the account and everything for the Apple Store for the mobile wallet, and then I'll get Forge's help at some point to go through the process. So
Yeah, we'll have to set up some stuff. There's a whole bunch of Apple specific things that we got to do. But once we get it set up, we'll get it submitted. We'll get some beta testers out there. We'll publish it through test flight, make sure everybody's working good, and then once that's good, we'll submit it for release.
oh yeah. All right. Anybody got any questions, comments, anything?
Carl Nelson on YouTube is asking what's the best wallet to transfer from to the Pirate wallet. The Treasure Chest is the latest wallet, Carl.
All right. Anything else?
I'm actually really excited for the future of Treasure Chest because I love having, the idea of having one version that constantly upgrades is like always exciting to keep up with. Than having 5 different wallets all over the place.
That's just a nightmare to keep updated.
Yeah. It was just bad.
Yeah.
Emilio is asking, why do early coins have a somewhat low supply and the newer coins have a high supply, for example, comparing Monero supply to Pirate Chain?
Well, it's all based on theory, really. Whatever you think the emission rates should be, whatever you think the end-all tokenomics should be. I mean, there's so many different factors that go into it that, a lot of things could change, depending on, how many users get interested and things like that, and the price you want to set. Because usually the more coins you have, the lower the price will be. And for something like Pirate Chain, for example, what I would imagine is we don't want just one single coin to be, worth thousands of dollars and only have, say, 200 coins, or say 1,000,000 coins or whatever. We want the average Joe, in my opinion, to feel like they have, a decent amount of pirate on them. Because it's all psychology too.
Yeah.
Because realistically,
Can I jump in real quick, bro?
Sure.
So you're asking the wrong question. It's not about how many coins there are. It's about whether it's inflationary or deflationary.
Well, no, that's another factor that goes into it too. Yeah, but part of it has to do with psychology as well. Because say, for example, you have a decently well-known crypto that you hold a lot of coins for. You say you have like 300,000 coins. That could be equivalent to, say, 10 grand, right? You feel like, oh, dude, I have 300,000 of this crypto that's actually really popular. Then compare that to, say, I don't know, some other coin that's not Bitcoin, where you can say, oh, I have 0.0027 of this coin. It's part of it has to do with a little bit of psychology. Part of it has to do with, tokenomics theory and that's probably a theory that I just made up, but it makes sense to me. But realistically, it's all about, supply and demand in the end. So, because, I mean, it doesn't matter if you have, 1,000,000,000 coins or 1,000,000 coins, because realistically, if you're a super popular project, price is going to go up, but it just all depends on, what you want your starting price to be. So, anything else?
I think that's about it.
Awesome. Well, everyone, I appreciate you all coming, and you guys are an extremely kick-ass community. And honestly, I consider not only the team but our community as one big family. I absolutely love being able to, chat with everybody. Even through just DMs, whether it's just simple questions or just casual conversations, and then especially the team working with everyone that I get to work with is just a dream come true. Honestly, I have fun every day that I'm in Pirate. So appreciate everyone coming. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I will catch you all next time.
Hana